She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. This is the week of miracles. This week, totally dedicated because this is the week of Hanukkah. And Hanukkah is a story of miracles. So each day, actually starting last week, we began to talk about the beautiful, miraculous story that's in the Bible concerning the Feast of Dedication, which dedication in Hebrew is Hanukkah. Actually, it's Hanukkah. Got to get my Hebrew on. Anyway, so yesterday we talked about a miracle that happened for business for us. I have so many miracles in business that I could tell you. I mean, it was really very difficult to talk about, to just pick the one that I could talk about. There's so many of them. And then we talked about on Monday the miracle of, homeless to millions. And so today I want to talk to you about physical healing. Today, especially because it's a spiritual equipping, I want to talk to you about that because you might know somebody that has cancer. You might know somebody who has some major pain in their body, back pain, hip pain, knee pain, elbow pain, brain pain, I don't know, any kind of pain. I have seen so many miracles throughout my career in this beautiful adventure, living out my life with my God. And so I love the passage in Jeremiah 32:27 that says this, that says, I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. Is there anything too difficult for me? Every time I sign a book, I sign that after my name. It's one of two passages that I put next to my name, and it's, I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. Is there anything too difficult for me? That answer is no. There is absolutely nothing too difficult for him. And so I want to share with you a personal story of a crazy miracle that I personally had experienced. I've actually received several physical healings in my lifetime. This one was crazy, absolutely crazy. Not only that, but I've seen so many miracles inside of our clients as well. So if right now, it would be a good idea maybe for you to even share this video right this minute, because you never know who just got a bad report for breast cancer or pancreatic cancer or whatever, prostate cancer. Cancer seems to be like rampant all over the place, right? Or whatever disease, heart problems. I was born with a heart condition, did not know it until I was 31 years old. It was a horrible, horrible, terrible, terrible thing that controlled my life. But this particular one, I was actually born with a dysfunction or a deformity inside of my back. And I also had scoliosis. And so I spent 23 years of my life in some excruciating back pain. And my family and some of my friends were the ones that really knew about it. There were several times when I would step up on stage, like barely being able to walk. And God would miraculously help my body work through those training seminars, First Step Success and Creating a Dynasty, even though I was in excruciating pain. The other thing is I'm allergic to every pain medication that exists. I'm allergic to all narcotics and opiates. And so there's no pain medication that can actually help me. Yes, I can take Tylenol, but I can't take Tylenol with codeine. Yes, I can take Advil, but I can't take anything that is actually going to do something to actually help you get out of pain. And so my back had reached its absolute worst time. In fact, this was about 30 days after our 16-year-old precious and amazing daughter, Erica, we call her Ricky, had a double aneurysm. So Ricky has a double aneurysm. That's a whole nother story in itself. In fact, we did a show on that particular story. So if you want to hear a crazy physical healing and how her life was spared, and you want that shot in the arm of encouragement, that infusion of faith to carry you through the end of this year and into the next year, you want to watch that particular show, and you want to continue to watch this show. Because again, I'm starting this show with this. I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. Is there anything too difficult for me? The answer is no. There's nothing too difficult for him, right? So Erica goes through healing, okay? And 30 days later, friend, 30 days later, I cannot walk. Unbeknownst to me, I had a fracture the size of a marble right at my sciatic nerve. Okay. So this was horrifying. I can't walk. So my sciatic nerve started doing what it did. And up to that point, I had so much back problems, but my sciatic nerve, that one had never been like this, ever. And so I'm literally in tears every day. I cannot get comfortable at all. Laying on the floor, I'm in tears. Laying in my bed, I'm in tears. I can't roll over on my side. I can't get myself to the bathroom. I can't get myself dressed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like my whole body is in excruciating pain and nothing is working. I'm one of those naturopathic type people. So I'm like taking all of my omegas. I have all my essential oils. Like nothing is helping, right? So I end up buckling down, going to the doctor, getting an MRI, and that's when I get diagnosed. And they look me in the face and say, there's only one way out of this, and that is surgery. I'm like, oh my gosh. Fortunately, I live in California, 3 hours away from Stanford University. Thank God. I'm in a place where I just, my friend had surgery there, and the doctor, when I'm in there, I'm literally just crying. Do you understand? This is crying. I am exhausted. I cannot take care of my family. I cannot take care of myself. I am not getting out of pain. No chiropractor is helping. No massage is helping. No oils are helping. No nutritional supplements are helping. And there is no drugs to be able to help. So crazy. So I get to the hospital and the doctor looks at me as I'm crying in so much pain. He says, honey, I will have you out of pain tonight and you'll be walking by tomorrow. I'm like, yes. Now I'm crying happy. Yes. Okay. So right away I go in for surgery. I go in for surgery. And I come out, and I am blue from the waist down. I'm in more pain, if that was even fathomable. I'm in more pain. I cannot feel anything from the waist down. Nothing. My legs are blue. My hips are blue. My feet are blue. I can't move. My toes, my legs, I can't move. And the pain is increasing. I was supposed to be waking up pain-free and ready to take on the world. But instead, I'm paralyzed. Paralyzed. I'm too young to have this happen in my life. This is 2009, January 9th of 2009. We have a very successful business at this time. We have an event that was going to be taking place the very next week. We had 850 people registered for the event, and I'm paralyzed. We have people coming from all over the world, and I'm paralyzed. We have 40 employees, and I'm paralyzed. And I'm in excruciating pain. So I was supposed to be released from the hospital, that day. It was supposed to be like an in and out thing, and I ended up in the hospital for 7 days. The different types of medications they tried to give me, I was throwing up. I was allergic to them. The reason why I can't take pain medication is because I have an allergy against them. I break out in severe hives. I'm scratching to a point of blood, or I throw up. So they finally released me, and I end up going to my some very close family friend's house that was close by, because we're going to have these doctor's appointments. And 3 hours in a car ride when you're in excruciating pain was not an option. And so we ended up taking me there. And I had two really precious friends and my spiritual daughter who ended up caring for me. Literally, I want you to imagine, I am being showered by my spiritual daughter, and I'm being dressed by one of my best girlfriends. All the while, we're trying to keep a business going, and we're trying to figure out what are we going to do about first steps to success. We've never canceled an event in all the years that I had been doing that training seminar. Yeah. So at that point, it had been like 18, 19 years, and we had never canceled an event, which is a pretty good track record, right? So we're back and forth to pain managers. I had one of our clients who happened to be a chiropractor who offered to come. And when we finally got me home, and the doctor had just said that I don't know what to tell you. This is it. This is it. So I'm paralyzed. I have nothing to help me with pain. We convert our whole house, friend. We convert our whole house to handicap. I had the grabber. We had the rails. I was in a wheelchair, drugged up on some. They had done some studies about neurological drugs. Their issue was my brain was not communicating to my legs. And so they were, experimentally trying to test out even antidepressants, like basically that kind of a drug to try to make this happen, and it wasn't working. And so we had this doctor live with us for a month, and every 2 hours I had 10 out of 10 suicidal pain. And I remember going to back to Stanford to meet with a pain specialist, a second pain specialist. And I had 24/7 care in my home, right? I can't dress myself. I can't walk. I can't cook. So we had people cooking. We had people, taking care of the kids, the house, Hans. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously I kept Hans up through the night, after night, after night, after night, after night, because I'm screaming in absolute pain. And my spiritual daughter, Issa, can tell you stories because she had our room right below our bedroom. And she said that one of the worst memories that she has was hearing me scream, waking up in the middle of the night because she could hear me screaming through the floor because I was in so much pain. So I remember meeting with the doctor and the pain specialist again, and my doctor, client, and friend, and my spiritual daughter and Jen were all with me, and I remember them picking me up and putting me in the back of the Mercedes because here it came again. The report was, we're sorry, there's really nothing we can do. And I remember getting into the car, them putting me in the car, and I'm laying down in the back because it hurt to sit up. And I remember saying to God, I said, Father, I trust you. I trust you. And I believe that you want to heal me. And I believe that you are willing to heal me, because there's a place in the scriptures where it says that, what do you want? I want to be healed, right? I want to be healed. I know you are willing to heal, and I know you can heal. And I have watched you heal so many people, and I personally have had miracle physical healings in my life. So there's no doubt in my mind that you have the capacity. So whenever it is that you are ready and willing to have your servant no longer be suffering in excruciating pain, I trust your timeline. I trust you. And that was that. I totally released the healing. I confessed that I believed he could heal me, that I wanted to be healed, and whatever it was that he thought the right timing was for me to be healed, that I trusted his timing. There was something else that I said. I also said, Father, I not only will rejoice in my healing, but there are thousands of people praying for me right now. And when they see me walking again and they hear about the miracle you did, it is going to glorify your name in their life, and it's going to build their faith. And I promise you, I will shout from the mountaintops what you have done in this miracle healing for my life. So whenever it is that you are ready for your servant to no longer be suffering, and if I, your servant, and this is a really humbling prayer to pray, by the way, if I, your servant, have found favor in your sight, that's a scary prayer to pray. It really is. And it takes a lot of faith to pray that prayer. If I have found favor in your sight, Abraham prayed that prayer, Gideon prayed that prayer. If I have found favor in your sight, then please heal me, and heal me now. You have obviously closed off every other option. Drugs will not keep me out of pain. The doctor has no idea why my brain is not communicating to my legs. Nobody has answers. So you have closed every opportunity for me to receive a medical healing. You've left me with one option, and that one option is you. And that was it. We had a 3-hour drive. I sat back there crying in pain, but choosing to let go. Going, all right, I trust you. You are the healer. People are going to glorify your name when you heal me. I will glorify your name when you heal me. So if you want to be known as the healer to the thousands of people that are praying for you right now, then heal me. If I, your servant, have found favor in your sight, then heal me now. And if I haven't, if this is the life that you have for me, I am still going to praise you from a wheelchair. If this is the life you have for me, I am still going to teach my children about you. If this is the life you have for me, I am still going to. If you have called me to do first step success from a wheelchair, then by golly, let's do it. You want me to build a business from a wheelchair? Let's do it. I'll let go. Friend, this is so exciting. Literally 2 days later, Hans was in St. Louis. We had rescheduled the first steps from January to February. We had an amazing turnout. The graciousness of our clients was absolutely amazing and beautiful and shocking. That in itself was a miracle. We did not have a bunch of hate mail. Oh, I had to change my flight. It cost me more money. None of that. People were gracious and compassionate, and that in itself was a miracle. So Hans steps up, and he's going to go do first steps. He had done it in years past when I was retired, so it was like, it's not his favorite thing to do. He doesn't like to speak. Bottom line is these clients, these precious, amazing people, in fact, might have been you, happened to be in St. Louis, and we had an internet feed into our house. My father had come to visit with my brother. All of our kids were with me. Jen and Hans were gone, as well as a few other, obviously, of our staff to put the event on. And so I was surrounded by some very close friends, some family, and my children. And I'm sitting in the wheelchair. I'm covered up in a ton of blankets because I froze all the time. It was the dead of winter, and we lived in the snow. And so we were watching Hans deliver the spiritual equipping message. First time he'd ever done that. He had never done that before in his life, never wanted to, but he stepped out of his comfort zone, and he brought forth a message in front of 850 people. And then at the very end of the message, right? And so we were all in my living room watching Hans do this, and I am weeping as I'm watching this, like, look at that miracle. My husband, who never talks about God, here he is, bam, he is just letting it rip. And he had such a gift on his tongue to be able to share it with such passion and beautiful, beautiful words of encouragement to everybody. And at the very end, he says this, and we were about to turn the TV off because we thought it was over. And Hans says this, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know what is going on with my wife right now, but she's in a wheelchair and she's paralyzed and she's in excruciating pain. And I don't know if you'd be willing to pray for her, because our house has been converted to handicap, and this looks like it's going to be our life, and that's okay. But the bottom line is she is in so much pain, and I want to see my wife out of pain. So he starts to pass the mic, and he is weeping. He is broken before those 850 people. And the mic starts getting passed, and these people who we had led to the Father, people that did not know God before, that at our events, a secular business seminar, we do a spiritual equipping night where we invite people in to understand deeper the principles that are of success that come straight from the Bible. And we led thousands and tens of thousands of people to know him. And then to see there on the screen, I could see their heads and I could hear their voices, and I knew who they were, and they were praying for me with so much boldness, so much passion, crying out for me to be healed. Not just for me to be out of pain, but for me to walk again, for me to be completely restored, for me to be the mom again that I was not able to be anymore, the wife that I wasn't able to be anymore. And the very last person grabs the mic, and his name was Ben Coleman, who came to visit me in the hospital. He was a man that, basically we helped him to save $1.2 million. He almost lost it all, but he took my husband's investment recommendation, which was to pull everything out of the stock market. And he did. He followed that, and he started to manage his own money. And if he hadn't, 90% of his investments were in Lehman Brothers, and Lehman Brothers had gone out of business. And so Ben had came to visit me in the hospital, and Ben was the very last person with the mic. And he said these words. After he finished praying, he says these words, "Dani, pick up your mat and walk." Which, if you watched this show 2 days ago, you know the significance of that statement. And all of a sudden, after he said those words and after everyone was done praying, and again, we're watching this through the internet, okay? We're not even there in St. Louis. We're just listening to this on the internet. All of a sudden, you see, my girlfriend Jerry had been sitting at my feet the whole night. And I didn't know this, but she'd been rubbing my leg all night, but I didn't know it because I couldn't feel anything. I was paralyzed. I had no feeling in my legs. All of a sudden, after I heard those words, "Pick up your mat and walk," all of a sudden, I felt my legs. I felt Jerry's touch on my legs. She was rubbing my leg. Right away, I went, "Oh my gosh, I can feel." And I took my leg off of my wheelchair, the right leg, and I moved that stand, whatever that leg thing is that you put your leg on, and I took the left one off and moved that aside. And my dad got on my left side, my brother got on my right, and they picked me up out of that chair. And I took my first step. I wiggled my foot forward, then I wiggled my next foot forward again, both of them bracing me. And then I said, "Done deal." And all of a sudden I went off and started walking all through my house. I was completely healed. I then walked up the stairs to my kids' bedrooms, and I started doing squats, and I said, "How dare you, you lying pig, the enemy from hell, to stop me from praying over my children at night, from being with them in their beds and snuggling, from reading them the stories that I read them every night. How dare you take this?" And I started doing squats right there on that floor. Came down the stairs, walked all through my house, and everybody was a mess. My children witnessed this beautiful physical healing with their own eyes. I remember seeing Roman curled up on the floor just bawling, Cabe with a video camera. Fortunately, he got it. Unfortunately, it wasn't done in the right speed, so it's like looks all jabbered and gibbered and all of that stuff. But we do have this absolute miracle on video as it took place. Right away, I went into my bedroom and I flushed all the medication, which, by the way, they said you cannot do that. You can't just like stop this medication that they had me on, because again, it's like neurological medication that, you know, you could have a seizure, you could have a heart attack, all this stuff. And here I've got them, and that doctor, she's like, Dani, and I said no. And I flushed every single one of them. He has healed me. He has healed me. So we had a table in my bedroom, because that's where Dr. Mary would give me these treatments, trying to help me get out of pain. And so she's on the floor bawling. She had never witnessed a miracle ever in her life. So I go, she goes, "Come over here, get on the table. I need to check your back." She checked my spine. She's a chiropractor. She checked my spine. She goes, and she just fell apart. She's like, "Dani, you don't have scoliosis anymore either. Not only has he healed you from paralysis, not only has he healed you from the pain, but your back is perfectly straight." So I'm there on the table, and she goes to touch my feet, and I jump, like I jerk my foot back. And then she falls on her knees again, and she just starts bawling again, because, and this is what she said, "Dani," she said, "I've been digging in your feet for weeks. I've been pressing on your feet, and you never felt anything." She goes, "I just touched your foot and you jumped." So listen to me. Jeremiah 32:27. "I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. Is there anything too difficult for me?" The answer is no. The answer is no. So if you have cancer, or if you have a loved one who has cancer, If you've got heart problems or know a loved one, I could tell you stories for hours of the miracle testimonies, physical miracles that have happened in people's lives. It doesn't matter what it is that you're facing. Will you not put up the prayer, if I, your servant, have found favor in your sight? Which I probably haven't, but I just have to ask the question. Will you please heal me? And if you choose not to, I'm still going to serve you. I'm still going to shout out from the mountains. I might do it in pain, but I'm still going to serve you. And if you choose to heal me, I promise I'm going to shout from the mountaintops. And I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that you are the great and divine healer. You, the creator of the heavens and the earth, that there is nothing impossible for you. So, I hope you are inspired. And I hope, listen, I have been walking. I have dirt biked. I have jumped out of airplanes since then. I travel all over the world. I've hiked. I remember, even in my trying to get my strength back, I ended up hiking and beating everybody to the top of a mountain after being paralyzed for 2 months. Listen, nothing's impossible for him. The only impossibility you have is in your mind. But there's nothing impossible for him. So will you not choose to believe in the greatest healer of all healers? Will you not choose to surrender yourself completely to him, no matter what it is that you're facing? Know in your knower that nothing is impossible. And if you choose to believe with an undivided heart, he will heal you. Even if you don't believe it, you simply ask the words. Look at how amazing he is. That if he could do that miracle in me, a flawed woman with a disgusting past, a woman who's a mess, if he could do that in me, I didn't deserve to be healed. But he deserved to get the credit. He deserved to get the glory. He deserved to show off and to shine in front of all of his people. He wants to do the same thing in your life. He wants to do the same thing in your life. So lay down your fears, lay down your doubt, and choose to pick up your mat of faith and walk. Choose to believe that he's got it. It's covered. Yeah, but Dani, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Friend, so what? This is a new day. This is a new season. This is a new time. And your miracle is hanging right there waiting for you to grab it. Won't you do it? Thanks so much for joining us.